And with that, I now go across to another gentleman from IIT Delhi who has been 1981 BTech from IIT Delhi, 1983 from IIM Ahmedabad, has also been past president of IIT Delhi, was in senior leadership positions in the private sector, and then decided to give that up to set up a center for higher education, a kind of a center of excellence. Now I'm very curious. In fact, one of my visits, I was so attracted. Although I go to India about 5 6 times in a year, but I'm there for 2 3 days, and I made a 1 day trip to Jodhpur to meet him and to find out. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Varun Arya. Please give a round of applause to Varun Arya, and over to you, Varun. I want to hear what has been your journey post IIT. What are you doing now? And some perspectives. Over to you, please. You are on mute. Mute. Unmute yourself, Varun.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Passing out from IIT Delhi. Uh, Before passing out, I also gave GRE and TOEFL and got admissions with MS in the US universities. Like many people in my batch, I also gave CAT and got selected in IIMs, but then decided to. It would be interesting for you people to know that I was selected in all 5 IITs and with Pilani. I chose IIT Delhi, coming from a very small place, because I wanted to see the capital of India. And no other reason to select IIT Delhi. And then selected IIM Ahmedabad. I was selected in all 3 IIMs, A, B, and C, because it was closest to my hometown, Abu Road, that's Mount Abu. Anyway, so after finishing IIM Ahmedabad in 83, I got into the corporate world, worked with Reliance, Aditya Birla Group, and lastly with American multinational DuPont, where I became general manager at a young age of 36. And at the age of 40, I left it all to become an educational entrepreneur and came down to Jodhpur in Rajasthan. Now, the basic premise on which I decided to be an educational entrepreneur was that the education by definition was based on ethics. And I think that premise was faulty. I soon realized and got into endless problems. Let me not get into those problems. At one time, I had 3 dozen court cases, 2 dozen in Rajasthan High Court. Anyway, we started. We couldn't get the government approval from the regulatory organization because we refused to bribe. So our IIM Ahmedabad, we have about 1 dozen professors of IIM Ahmedabad closely associated. They said that IIM Ahmedabad is not approved by AICT. So you also start without approval.
Oh my God.
So we started without, on the first day we had 5 students. Everybody thought this year was applied by, I had my first press conference in 2000 when we were starting. I said, we will build 100-acre campus. People said, how much money do you have? I said, 5 lakh. People laughed at it. I said, people from around the world will come and visit some of the top people. They said, they have never come to Jodhpur. Why should they come? So the message reached the CM that he is a fly-by-night operator, and the CM wrote to our board members that Varun Arya is a fraud and cheat and whatnot. Anyway, today we have a 100-acre land on which we have a modest campus. Pradeep has been there. A large number of IITians from around the world have come. Many IIT directors have come, deans and faculty members have come. We had more than 1,000 who's who from around the world, including from Wharton, Sloan, LSE, Harvard, visiting us over the years. So it all has happened. We were the first institute amongst non-IIM to be affiliated with CAT right from the beginning. And we had students from all over India. And we became successful beyond our imagination. Now, I never knew the success can be a problem. Our success became our problem. Our big, huge success became our huge problem. The government was after us because we were not taking care of the government. We had no government approval. And government people were unwelcome at our institute. Anyway, to cut it short, we fought many battles, large number of them, up to the highest level. I made who's who up to the highest level in the government. Let me not take the names, but I couldn't find one single person up to the highest level who was actually interested in the nation. And even one president of India, I will not take the name, told me that Arya Saab, आप रिश्वत नहीं देंगे तो आपका काम कैसे होगा? रिश्वत तो देनी पड़ेगी. One president of India told me. One vice president told me of India कि Arya Saab, you should learn to take blessings of CM, and you should know what it takes to take the blessing of CM. If you have not taken the blessing of CM, then you should not do anything. I said, I'm doing something for the nation. बोले तो तुमने nation का ठेका लिया है क्या? किसी ने बोला है क्या तुमको ये करने के लिए? Why you are doing it? Don't do it if you cannot do what is required. Anyway, to cut it short, it has been a very highly adventurous journey. It has been a venture of adventure. And there have been 3 attacks on my life as a part of that. And as I said, 36 court cases. And one couldn't have asked for more interesting and adventurous journey. And the government had promised to give us the land. Things went below the table. We refused. We couldn't get the land. One CM told me, Arya Saab, you are a person of management, but you don't know management. You first learn management. The second CM said, Arya Saab, if we give you the land without bribe, it would set a wrong precedent. So I have had very interesting interactions with the people up to the highest level in the government, their perspective on the nation, on nation building and whatnot. Anyway, ultimately we went for purchase of land, and we wanted to pay entire amount by check. People demanded 50, 60% cash. I said, I don't produce cash, I don't take cash, I don't give cash. Ultimately, we had to purchase an extremely saline, arid wasteland, which people who owned it had been wanting to sell for generations, but there were no buyers. Because on this land, nothing could be constructed and nothing could be even grown. Even the grass was not grown on this. There was salt all over it. We had no choice because nobody else was willing to give us the land with 100% payment by check. These people had no choice because nobody else was willing to buy this land. So it was a win-win. We purchased the land. Today that land has 15 lakes which we have created because there was no water in 5 kilometers radius. There are more than 10,000 trees, and there is a flora, fauna, and birds come from all over the world. People come from all over the world to see the transformation. UN has recognized it. Many other institutions have recognized it. And I and my wife and we all stay here amongst the nature. We grow our own. We don't use any chemicals for any purpose. It is all natural transformation. And if you go to Google and type Varun Arya transformation land, you'll come across a lot of videos and links, write-ups. So, well, that's it.
So, what are you doing now? Are you still very much in that? I know that you got that campus, but what courses or what are you kind of doing at that campus?
Okay. I believe जब इरादे नेक होते हैं तो रास्ते अनेक होते हैं. We have made a very, very ambitious plan of doing many things over the next 10 years, which do not require any government approval. Let me just mention that even on this land, nothing could grow, not even grass. But in the government record, this was agricultural land because they do nomenclature of the land, sitting in air-conditioned room, not by visiting the land. And for land use change, even we had to sit at for indefinite fast at Jantar Mantar in Delhi to get it done, and we got it done. Anyway, we have plans to do many things towards nation building, and one of which is organizing camps on biodiversity adventure for school and college students, and for corporates also. We have been doing corporate training program. We want to intensify it and do it here at our campus in a resort mode. So that's another activity which we plan to do. We plan to set up a science museum. I find being in the rural area, there is serious problem of superstition. We have tried to inculcate scientific temper, but we want to do it in a laboratory mode. So we want to set up an open science laboratory and a planetarium and many other things, because we have about 100-acre canvas on which we can paint anything. So we want to set up a planetarium. We want to set up a nature cure center. We plan to also set up a living community where people, many of the IIT and IM people who have retired or retiring, they have approached me that you give us a place to stay at your campus and also do something meaningful. So we plan to set up a living community. So there are many other plans which we want to accomplish over the next 10 years. And we wanted to launch some of these from July this year, but the corona has put the roadblock or speed breaker. And once the corona is over, because the government has said no to the physical classes, we will start one by one some of these. And now the government has also understood us कि इस आदमी से पंगा नहीं लेना. एक कहावत है कि इवन डायन भी एक घर छोड़ देती है. So the government now troubles us much less than what it used to do earlier. We recently fought 4 major battles, and so one was corruption in the National Highway Bank opposite our campus. Second was corruption in IIM Ahmedabad. Some of you will be shocked. I was on the governing society of IIM Ahmedabad, and I found 100 crore corruption there. Ultimately, the chairman had to resign. The director had to resign, although they gave other reasons for resigning, but it was actually the corruption. Corruption in AICT. I got one AICT chairman arrested, one removed, and then I found corruption in the appointment of judges. My own advocate, I found, he got sold, and then he was involved in corruption, and he was being appointed as a judge. So this is the very interesting journeys, and life is interesting, challenging, and I don't spend money on this. It's all at the expense of the government of India.
What a fabulous journey. I mean, it has been really lovely to have you over here because end of the day, it really comes down to what are your values in life, and how much are you really? Yeah, please go ahead, Varun. You wanted to say something?
See, we all know that the top organizations in the world, which are in the fortune list, there is one thing which is common across all those organizations, whether you look at the first or the 100 or 500, is that they have a set of core values, which are conditions of employment, which are conditions of operation, which are conditions for everything. It would be interesting to note that none of the IITs and IIMs have core values. I think as alumni association should have core values, and IITs should have core values. And some of the core values, for example, which came to my mind, I've listed 6 of them. One is societal welfare. I think very important, where the alumni association or IITs could work with some of the selected NGOs, the societal organizations, to achieve this. It could be also kind of objective. Second is the quality. I think whatever we do, it should be of quality. Ethics and integrity, environmental preservation, people development, and national development. These are some of the core values which came to my mind. I think IIT Delhi Alumni Association, with Ravindra being the present leader, should take a move amongst many other moves. And I think it doesn't require physical presence. It can be done digital way to adopt a set of core values. And we should also, persuade IIT Delhi director Dr. Ram Gopal Rao to have a set of core values. I think, and to achieve these core values and to stick to these core values, we can have synergistic partnerships with various organizations and do it in a win-win manner.
Thank you very much, Varun. It was a pleasure to have you across.
Same here. Thank
And,
you. Yeah.
and I look forward to keeping you more involved as we go down this journey, because I totally agree with you. Not only having core values, but at the same time, adding value to the entire group of stakeholders and principally to the alumni is the key to making this association more meaningful. So, big round of applause for Varun, please.